Welcome to Vlogmas Day X, or Day 10. I just wanted to kind of kick back and reflect on the days of drone lives past. Looking back at the archives, seeing where I've gone is learning how to fly unmanned aerial vehicle, a UAV. In less technical terms, a remote control helicopter. The story starts, I was getting into videography, I was getting into just the creation world. At the time, it was the Phantom 3 was really popular. I wanted to be able to learn how to do that and have that added onto the production quality of my videos. I remember gathering like a bunch of my like Supreme hats and stuff that would make me money that I could sell. I remember selling it to Riff LA. I'm not gonna say the price, but I got way more than enough to be able to buy my first drone, and I also picked up another fixed gear bicycle. Anyways, let's just get into some of the first couple things. Just taking the drone out for the first time. It wasn't documented. That night I had updated the firmware and took it out of my backyard. The drone itself, I flew at night, which was kind of stupid. The first actual official flight was in my backyard because I couldn't wait. The next day I had taken the drone out. I remember going to the park down the street where I normally, have gone, and that's learned how to fly my drone. I just took it out there and I took it out to that park a lot. During that first month, I was flying every day, not even just to control the camera, just to learn how to fly. As soon as I got a little bit better, I decided to, take it to different places. The first place I could think about was Huntington Beach. Scenic beach shots. I remember riding my bike with Adrian and Mikey. Mikey was a rookie drone flyer at the time too. We definitely collabed on that note. Both had the same type of drone, and it was cool. Like we ended up having a day out of it and being able to capture the essence of flying over, not water completely, but over amounts of people at the time. Granted, this around 2016, so at the time there weren't too much drone regulations. As time went on, I was getting a little bit more confident. It was still scary to fly a drone and knowing that I don't know if I was gonna lose it or whatnot. I was nervous for a long time. I'd say within the first year. Every time I tried to fly, it's because I wanted to create a visual. And I remember going to Sunken City with my cousin Dean, and I wanted to fly over water for the first time and then get these visuals of this place. My episode of me reflecting at Sunken City, I just did that. I was like Vlogmas Day 1. Yeah, I mean, the first time I went there, I was really scared. It was long story short, it was definitely a good experience to be able to have done that, and I was really stoked on some of that footage that ended up coming out. One of the biggest stories was when I officially took the drone traveling with me out of state. I had taken it to Horseshoe Bend, doing this thing for my buddy John and Lindsay, and I was doing their lifestyle wedding video in the beginning before my career started as a videographer. Like, I remember Horseshoe Bend back before it was like not a tourist spot. Before I knew any type of regulations, I remember I wanted to get shots of them there, and then eventually I remember throwing up the drone for just like no more than like 3 minutes. I was flying, we got our droney in, and then the security or the park guards were like, "You need to take that down, land it now," yelling, and then I was just tripping out, and I was like, oh my god, they're telling me I'm gonna get a fine and this and that, and luckily I did not. Just let off with a warning and we left. That shot that I got is almost impossible for anybody to get these days, especially how everybody flies drones now. It's just because they have signs that say no drones allowed there. I remember getting that shot, and I'm super grateful to have gotten that shot. It's so special to be able to, one of the people to actually get it and do it without getting in trouble. Of course, no drone learning would be complete without all the crashes. The earlier times, there were some hefty crashes just because I didn't know the technicalities and everything that went into drone flying. Of flying in San Pedro and flying around the Friendship Bell. Luckily that drone has lasted a long. I've crashed a lot there, and I've crashed a lot like when I was flying elsewhere. I remember going to Joshua Tree, shooting stuff for John and Lindsay, continue on with their reception video, and I remember crashing into him. I was trying to get close and trying to get a shot of them, like a flyaway shot of them, and it was interesting. It was fun nonetheless. I remember going out there with like Ace and Danielle, and it was just like a group family fun friend thing, and it was really cool to be able to like have done that. But the crashes wouldn't make me the drone pilot I am today. It got easier. It got easier. You know, LA has some really good architectural aerial shots that I really liked, and I remember going to Echo Park, taking the drone there. I've taken it there a few times, wedding shoots or engagement shoots. But for my personal stuff, I remember one particular story. I was there with Kelsey and RJ and Ange, and I remember trying to learn how to fly while I was on something moving. You know, when you're flying and you're the drone, the orientation of the sticks, and you're just on a moving vessel, not knowing where the drone ended up being. It was just a disaster. Where the boat was, and then cut my ear. You know, that footage is just like, it's insane. And it's crazy because it's like, you don't know. You learn these things as you go. That's the best part about it. And that's why it's so fun, is because, you know, I was carrying such a big drone at the time, you know, my Phantom 3. And, you know, I look back and I'm like super grateful for those those times. It was cool to be able to share like my drone knowledge with people who are interested, and being able to give people that freedom to fly, to my cousin Dean and Pollywog Park, going down to Abalone Cove and shooting things for RJ and master the controls there, taking it with Joe and letting him fly. I think just like me giving my friends or family the freedom to fly drones, like I wasn't scared to let anybody just try it, and I accepted the fact that flying drones meant that maybe you would lose it one day or it would crash one day, and that's, there goes your investment. I just remember some earlier times too, I remember trying to get sunset shot, living in the valley with John and Shorty coming over, and we're all hanging out, and me seeing like sunset, and then me eventually just trying to achieve a flight at night kind of thing, which, man, I loved it. It was great. It was a great experience. You need to take those risks in order to get some of those shots sometimes. You won't achieve greatness without the risks of certain things. And I am spontaneous when it comes to that. So 2 years into me having the Phantom 3, in 2018, the Mavic Pro had released. I remember RJ getting it for me for Valentine's Day, you know, very confident that I was gonna get somewhere with my videos, my creations and stuff like that. So she wanted to invest, and she got me the Mavic Pro, and I was stoked about it. Finally get something that I can carry around. The thing is, the Phantom 3 is huge, so it's like traveling with that thing had its own backpack. The Mavic Pro, it's just very small. You can put it in a little backpack, or you can almost put it in your pocket. These days, you have drones that could fit in your pocket, like the Mavic Mini. You know, shout out to Alvin with the Mavic Mini. It's so cute. Further down the line, I wanted to share, you know, continue sharing the knowledge. And as I got into the videography world or wedding industry, I wanted to teach people who were going to shoot with me how to fly a drone. And I remember J Ray wanting to learn how to fly the drone. So we went to the park by his house, started to learn, you know, teach him how to fly. And if he ever were to fly, you know, with me or fly for me if I couldn't at a gig or at some type of video project, he would be able to do it. I think the biggest challenge was bringing it to the Philippines, Coron, Palawan, and flying there. And I remember just flying in a place where taking the drone on a personal note for your travels is actually really cool. It's just you have to kind of like think about the restrictions. You never know, you can get in trouble. And I think that's the suckiest part about having the drone, is like sometimes you would want to have something like a cool little, you know, shot, but sometimes it's in a restricted airspace. All the stories, all the countless times that I have flown the drone has taught me a great ordeal of being more confident and less scared and less nervous. At the end of the day, it's a tool to help me create, to give an establishment of starting a story. I think flying the drones and all the gigs that I have done have been really challenging. It's been great. If it wasn't for that aspect of videography, giving so much more depth into your videos, you just have to be responsible. Make sure you're safe. It is something in the air that could possibly hurt something or hurt someone, or you get into vandalizing something. That you just got to be the responsible flyer. Going into 2021, I mean, the drones have gotten completely smaller, like I mentioned earlier. Who knows how small it can get, or the things that drones can actually do for people besides video. Drone deliveries and blah, blah, blah. Interesting to see where this technology has come, and I'm grateful to have 4 years of drone flying under my belt. I'd say about 4 or 5 years, going into 5 years now, and super stoked that I'm able to do this kind of stuff. And that's it. That does it for Vlogmas Day 10. I got so much stories to tell, and I think that's the reason why it's so easy for me to relive some of these moments and relive some of these stories, is because I have a lot that lead up to where I am today as the person with the camera. See you tomorrow.